Four Knights of the Apocalypse chapter 185 is officially out, and man, this chapter gave us some really big revelations in regards to Beltreipe's identity that I was not expecting to actually be the case. Not only that, we got a bit more stuff with Dubs. We finally got to see what's been going on with another character that we've been speculating will show up at some point, and some pretty good twists all in all, a nice visual metaphor. So we got a very awesome chapter this week that I cannot wait to get into and break down for you guys. But before we jump into this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And if you want to see me talk about a whole bunch of different manga, go and check out my manga podcast, Shonen Pulse, on the Panel Focus YouTube channel, where me, Nox, and Yadogami on a weekly basis talk about 9 different manga from 3 separate magazines. It's a lot of fun. If you're reading anything we're covering, go check it out so you can hear our thoughts and join the conversations. And we're really close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, go and check it out. The links will be in the title card and in the description down below. Also, a new type of video I'm trying to do now is respond to comments in a separate video where I just go through my thoughts of the chapter through your comments. That way I get a bit more interaction with you guys, so any old comments about this chapter, leave in the comment section down below, and I'll pick whichever ones I can for the next video to elaborate on and give my thoughts. It's something new, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump right into the chapter. Chapter 185 of Four Knights of the Apocalypse, titled A Serious Matter. Cover image is of the Chaos Knight and referee of the tournament that's been with Beltreipe this entire time. Commandant, just, I don't know, looking nice, wholesome, I guess. But either way, let's begin the chapter. So the chapter starts directly with the end of the previous one, where Percival defeats Dubs and is declared the victor of the match. However, Team Percival, Donnie and Percival all realize, hey, should Dubs had taken off his hood and fully revealed his identity? But Dubs says it doesn't really matter because he thinks he blew his cover midway through the match anyway. As then, a group of Chaos Knights enter the arena, much to the crowd's shock, as they go on, asking if he's Dubs, and that Lord Beltreipe ordered them to take him to the royal palace of Camelot. And Pelio and Hauser are just kind of in disbelief over they managed the fact that they found out that Dubs was there. Honestly, Dubs knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah, I kind of blew my cover already. I'm kind of screwed, so no choice in hiding my identity at this point. But yeah, Percival gets in front of Dubs and tries to defend him from the Chaos Knights. But Dubs basically tells Percival that there's no need. Percival can't afford to forget about his mission right now, and if he causes a fuss, who knows what'll happen. Percival will probably lose his golden opportunity right now in regards to like Tristan and Beltreipe and all that, so Dubs walks past Percival and goes to the Chaos Knights, as they put cuffs on him to, I assume, just conceal his magic so it's easier to control. And with that, they lead him out of the arena, with Beltreipe telling Commandant to help escort the knights just to be safe, because again, Dubs is a giant, so even with magic sealed away, he might physically be able to overpower them if he really wants to. And with that, Dubs walks through the waiting room, with Gawain floating there, humming, as she casually just does a message by blinking and twirling her hand to ask Dubs if he needs a hand, but Dubs just shakes his head saying, not really, no. As then everybody exits the arena with Dubs in tow. The Chaos Knights basically say that Arthur will give him a warm welcome and that they cannot wait to see what he can do for the sake of Camelot, and that they've heard stories about him. But Dubs isn't really paying attention, as all he's thinking about is the fact that he made a really great weapon, and he hasn't made a weapon like Percival's in a while, and now he's wondering what he's going to make next. So yeah, he's definitely going to make Lancelot his own custom weapon at some point. And I really do hope they upgrade Tristan's swords to have a Sacred Treasure class ability to help with Tristan. That would be really cool. But Commandant comes in right behind them as he tells everybody to hold on, as Beltreipe directed him to just watch over the escort just in case. And I love how everybody's like, what? He doesn't trust us? He doesn't trust our skill? Commandant says, I understand Dubs is quite wildly and crafty, you see. I fear your talents may not suffice to subdue him, as this pisses off all these Chaos Knights. But then Commandant just gets all kind of super expressive, saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend. Okay, as in that next instance in a full page, Commandant launches 2 light attacks right at the Chaos Knights in one quick sequence in the blink of an eye. As in that instance, we see the magic begin to disappear, him blowing the smoke from his fingertips, as just like that, the Chaos Knights just end up moving along, thinking that they took Dubs, as when they all walk away, Commandant undoes Dubs' cuffs as Dubs realizes that they're walking away and kind of understands who Commandant is. As Commandant says that by the time they reach the palace, they'll have no idea why they were sent there. And Arthur will end up having their heads for this. Man, he just sent off 4 Chaos Knights to their deaths, apparently, or at least to have severe punishment. But Dubs says that what he saw was rewrite light, and he hasn't seen that in a while, revealing that Commandant this whole time was Gowther the Goat Sin of Lust in disguise this entire time, as Gowther just strikes his signature pose as the illusion fades. So the referee and seeming right hand of Beltrup this entire time, this entire tournament, was just Gowther fucking with him. Just casting an illusion like the entire time, and Beltrup didn't notice anything. Legitimately, I think if Gowther was in any other series, he'd probably make the perfect assassin at this point. Heck, I'm pretty sure Arthur wouldn't be affected by Gowther's illusions, but if he did, and Melios really just wanted to, just take out Arthur in like the most casual way possible, Gowther would probably be the best at that job at this point with what we've seen. But yeah, Gowther has been Commandant this entire time. It's a really interesting twist because I remember, I forgot, a couple of volumes ago when we were getting set up for the tournament, there was a bonus chapter in one of the volumes that had Hauser, Pelio, and Boris training to enter the Gladiator Festival and follow after Percival, and we had Gowther with the brand new arm and leg that Thetis gave him. So that's interesting, we finally got that answer. But turns out that Gowther was there since before the tournament began, and it honestly makes sense why Percival wasn't able to sniff out Gowther, because apparently Gowther doesn't technically have life, which is true. Gowther is a living doll. He doesn't have, I guess in all technicality, a soul. He's just pure magic power that gains sentience, I guess, so he doesn't really have a soul or life spirit within him, so it does kind of make sense. Also, Dubs asked the range of Gowther's illusion. Apparently, Gowther's range is the entirety of the cauldron, so everybody that he wants to will see him as this Chaos Knight, which is just absolutely perfect. And the reason Gowther was doing this, the fact that Beltrup hadn't noticed that the Goat Sin was tricking him the entire time, tricking one of the 4 perils, Gowther just said this is payback for Beltrup cutting away half of his body last time. Gowther passes off as a joke, but I would like to think that Gowther is just having a lot of fun with this, just messing with the guy that dealt him a pretty good blow, which I still find hilarious. Gowther goes on to say that they infiltrated the cauldron Anvin to uncover the secrets behind the 4 perils, Beltrup included, and they've all been given powers that far surpass their body's capabilities, their capacity, showing all 4 perils. As Dubs puts together a piece of chaos within their body, right? As you get a visual representation of Gowther seemingly going through the memories of Beltrup while he was around Beltrup the entire time without him noticing, saying that he's been diving into Beltrup's nervous system to work out the process. So it seems like Gowther can actually check out the actual nervous system of these people, not just through magic in their mind, but can actually use his magic to see through their nervous system, which I forgot he can actually do. But says that chaos has spread across his entire body and nerves like cancer. It's made analyzing his memories incredibly difficult. I like the visualization of it. As it then cuts to pieces of memories with certain aspects just being corroded and cut out by chaos. With Gowther saying, one thing he's found is that a specially secure lock was placed over memories of people he cherishes the most. Mainly people that he'd hesitate or refuse an extreme decision from Arthur in order to take them out. And then Gowther says that one of the few things he managed to find was a royal seal. The same seal that is on the armor that Tristan is currently wearing that the fake Isolde gave him. And Dubs actually does recognize this emblem. As Gowther says, it was from a small kingdom in Britannia, and this is from their royal family. They fell to a civil war about 48 years ago. The small kingdom was called Castellio, as most of the royals were executed after a revolt, and only 2 princes survived it. And man, this imagery of this execution is kind of brutal and dark, and yeah. And this shocks Dubs, as it seems like he finally realized and put the pieces together. As we see an image with Gowther saying one of them, the second prince, had been branded as a cursed child, and a maid helped him flee the kingdom over 10 years before the revolt, revealing that The second prince of that kingdom, the younger one, was the man who would eventually become the lion sin of pride of the 7 deadly sins, Escanor. As we get a full page of Escanor in all of his glory from his final outfit during the Holy War arc. And man, it's been so long since I've seen Escanor drawn in this manga by Nakaba, and it still hits. Escanor's design is still amazing, and I was not expecting a way for this to like show a full-on true design for Escanor in addition to his backstory, an extension on it, and I'm loving it. I'm really appreciating it. And then we get to see who the other brother was. He was named Damon, the first prince, and Escanor's older brother. His fate was the subject of rumor during the war, but these memory fragments indicate that he survived, which Dubs fully realizes what Gother is saying. We get a flashback of the moment that Escanor, when his sunshine powers were beginning to manifest, literally breaking his older brother's arm in half, as people called him a monster, with Escanor's name being censored out, blocked out, by seemingly the whole thing with chaos. As we cut to an image of Gother saying yes, with Beltrep holding on to his right arm, but seemingly having phantom pain, as Gother fully confirms that Beltrep, the true identity of one of the 4 evils, Beltrep, is Damon, the old prince, and Escanor's older brother. I did not expect this to be a way to add more stuff and see Escanor in the story in this manner, but this is honestly kind of really cool, because I just thought Escanor's whole thing with his family was just added for his backstory and won't be approached in any later form in the story, because we were told that the kingdom was completely destroyed during a revolt. Makes sense. But Damon, his older brother, somehow survived, eventually got older, became a knight, seemingly had a kid, and now serves under Arthur and is one of the 4 perils. This is insane. I don't know what this is going to go for. But also, this ends up making Gawain having to fight Beltrep make even more sense, obviously because of the Green Knight and Gawain in Arthurian legend fight each other, and Gawain has to take out the Beltrep, but now Beltrep has a more personal connection, or a superficial connection, to Gawain, because she has powers and even an attitude similar to that of Escanor. She's basically Escanor's descendant in a way, basically like the embodiment of his legacy at this point. Same with Merlin, I guess, but Escanor. And this adds a whole other layer, especially if the conspiracy theories that Gawain ended up inheriting Escanor's powers after his death or something like that, which that is still crazy to think about. But I was not expecting this added piece of lore to be added to the story in this instance. But yeah, back to the chapter. After revealing this, Dubs kind of says, yeah, this is a serious matter. A title drop of the chapter, by the way. But Gother says, right, I had best return before I'm suspected. As Dubs says, I'll do what I can from my end too. As Gother asks him to let him know if he finds anything. As Dubs says, it's been great to speak to you again. I always did enjoy chatting it up with you. As Gother says, yeah, me too. As they part ways. You know, at first, I was like, when did Dubs and Gother meet? But then I remembered, Cursed by Light, that movie, Dubs was freed of the Supreme Deity's control, so it makes sense if Dubs would, talk to Gother before Dubs just disappeared out of nowhere. It makes sense. I'll give it that. But yeah, so Dubs is going to do some investigating of his own. He might be doing some other tinkering with weapons, going back to Gawain's and messing with the forge, and Gother's going back to Beltrep to oversee the tournament, maybe try and pry some more memories and information from Beltrep's memories, and more about chaos. But with that out of the way, with these 2 parting ways to gather more information, we cut back to the Colosseum as Gother returns in the skies, telling Beltrep that not a single loose string is gone. Everything's united, we got everything together, everything's all set, with Beltrep satisfied, as now the next match can continue as proceeded. With Gother just saying, alright everybody, it's time to kick off Fight 2 in Block A's second round. And with that, the chapter officially ends, as we now begin to move on to Nazians versus Diodora. Honestly, I was expecting this chapter to be directly into the fight with Nazians to start this chapter, but no, I was not expecting to actually see a Gother returning in this chapter in a really fun and interesting way to showcase he's been doing spy stuff to gather more information on the 4 perils, especially after Beltrep literally split the dimension. But not only that, But we got a confirmation of not just Beltreip's like full name and identity, we also find out that he's Escanor's older brother. So, family trauma exceeds generations, I guess. I was not expecting this, but at least this gives a bit of extra connection to the previous generation, to one of the sins. It sucks Escanor is dead, but I do think that maybe Beltreip will give us a reason to see Escanor as a character in the story for a brief moment, mainly with the Necropolis, because it'd be awesome if like Beltreip is dying or whatever and he sees Escanor in the afternight and two of them kind of like reconcile over everything. That's wishful thinking for me, just so I can see Escanor again and as an actual character. But I like that we got Escanor revealed, added stuff to his backstory, and that his older brother is one of Arthur's like top knights. I find that crazy to think about. So, and also that he still has phantom pain in his arm that Escanor shattered when they were kids. So, interesting piece of information. And I think this is really, really cool. But how do you guys feel about this chapter, the revelations, and how things are proceeding? Let me know in the comments section down below. As again, I'm starting these new weekly videos to try and respond to comments in video form for a long-form video, just to discuss things with you guys even more. So leave your thoughts, opinions, and theories in the comment section down below, and I will pick a couple to be in my follow-up video for the chapter. And what's more, if you haven't already, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Now, if all that's said and done, I hope you all have an awesome day.